Hello everyone and welcome to the iGEM IISER Kolkata 2025 team interview by Campus Radio. Today we have two of the finest members of our iGEM IISER Kolkata team here. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi everyone, I'm Iishaan, team lead for iGEM IISER Kolkata 2025.
Hello, I am Sattwik Pradhan, the Dry Lab lead and an Wet Lab member.
So first of all, a big congratulations to not just you guys but to the entire IISER Kolkata iGEM team for a fantastic project reveal the other day. The first year students are very crazed about your project and the entirety of iGEM and are very excited. Needless to say, the popularity of iGEM in our natural sciences career pathway is very huge. But I still believe there are people who are not quite sure what iGEM is or what is it in its entirety. So my first question of the evening to you guys is going to be, what is iGEM? Could you just describe it to me in a brief manner?
Okay. So essentially iGEM is, the full form of iGEM is International Genetically Engineered Machine. It's sort of like a synthetic biology conference in a way, but at the same time accompanied with talks are multiple projects that are coming from high school students, undergrad students and even postgrad students, right? The essential goal of iGEM is to promote biologists to think more like engineers, to take everyday problems and try to make live organism based, so usually bacterial, fungal or mammalian cell or plant cell based solutions to these everyday problems. And the approach usually involves synthetic biology. So it's very integrative in that sense that there are elements of chemistry, mathematical model, as of course Satikda would know better, alongside a very intensive amount of biology and application of molecular biology overall that is required. So we have a very diverse skill set in our team, and everyone has different nooks and crannies where they do really well.
Okay.
And all of that put together makes a good iGEM project.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. So while you were saying, you mentioned Dada is the math modeler over here and you are the bio modeler over representing the team. How many more people are there on the team right now?
We have a total of 11 members.
Yeah.
2 of them are dedicated purely to the math model. The remaining 9 are primarily dedicated to the bio model. But we have ended up with a lot of interplay between the two. Like Omrikta, one of our team members, was actually working on MD simulations and protein folding and so on. Something that's computational biology and heavily math dependent. At the same time, Shatikda, Asmi, both of them have been working tirelessly to actually try and fit our wet lab results into their models and try to make the wet lab results work in synchrony with the math models in order to improve predictability in the dry lab.
Okay, that's nice to hear. So while you're describing what iGEM is to me and the audience, you mentioned the word synthetic biology. What is synthetic biology and how is it different from, say, genetic engineering or traditional biology, just to say?
Right, so synthetic biology is essentially where you treat cells like programmable units, right? iGEM is International Genetically Engineered Machine. So a cell becomes your machine, a machine that produces a certain useful product, or a machine that is guided towards a certain end goal. So what's special about synthetic biology is that we use different parts known as biobricks in a relatively modular nature. So we are taking different genes from different organisms and trying to string them together in a way where they work cohesively together to produce a useful result. Now, sometimes this works very well, it works like a charm at times, and sometimes it does not work very well. And when it does not work very well, that just gives us an opportunity to learn from the interplay and the interactions between the genes and actually improve our synthetic biology further. Genetic engineering, on the other hand, is based more on understanding how individual genes work. It's very important. Only after we have certain amount of information about how these genes individually work can we actually think about stringing together these genes and doing multiple other interesting things with them.
Okay, so synthetic biology is supposed to be a bit advanced. So it's not the fundamental most.
Right, so I wouldn't really call it advanced, as in structural biology and all of pure genetics based biology is equally important as synthetic biology. But while genetics is a more foundational science,
Yes.
this is more of a applicative science per se.
Okay, that's nice. Uh, and now, could you just describe what the project IISER Kolkata is creating in a brief, like one or two sentences? So,
You want to take this?
Go on.
Right.
okay.
So essentially, this year we decided to target the oncology village. After talking to multiple doctors, we got a lot of inputs and a lot of advice on what we should actually be putting into an iGEM project. So this year we are essentially targeting this immunosuppressive cell known as a Treg cell that resides in tumor microenvironment of multiple solid tumors, and we are targeting a protein on its surface that actually produces an immunosuppressive molecule. And the fundamental idea, a very simple boiled down idea of what we're trying to do, is block a site on that protein or kill the cell itself, kill the Treg cell itself using our body's natural innate immunity, essentially to reduce this immunosuppression, and at the same time it improves the damp signals from that area. Or maybe even if you don't want to call it damp signals, it essentially helps recruit more T cells to come and actively immunologically work against the tumor and suppress the tumor.
Okay, that's fantastic. And we also took a few snippets and videos while they were revealing the project, which we will soon upload as clips or reels in our channel as well. So stay tuned for that as well. Next, this question I think should go to the math modeler because it involves comparison between biology and engineering form of sciences. So why do you think biology is now being started to be seen as a in comparison to engineering very similar, or like it has started to incorporate in within itself concepts like building blocks or say circuits, which were generally not seen in biology, traditional biology to say, but they are being present now.
Okay, so if I say from the view of our project, once we started modeling our system, we encountered several problems that can be easily handled with some mathematical tools or other computational tools. As for example, there was a huge, network of interactions were there, and if you go on modeling them, looking at individual steps and going on doing calculations and stuffs, it will be really impossible for you to do that. So if you use a graph, or suppose what we use in our model was Petri nets.
Okay.
So if you use a Petri net, then it becomes really easy to visualize all those interactions, and you can actually visualize what a change in a single in one species will go on impacting the others. So if you from this point of view, if you see that these mathematical tools are helping to see they're basically doing our life easier in visualizing things and stuffs. So yeah, once biology, if seen from seen with
Mathematical
tools or tools of mathematics, physics, or computer science, whatever, so they become easier. So that's the point.
Okay, so that's how you feel it is being integrated.
Yeah, true. It's totally
Sure. Okay, since we were on the topic of biology being compared with engineering, I would like to know from you guys about your project incorporating AI, computer sciences, and machine learning, because that is the craze of the new world right now. How are you guys incorporating that into your project?
Okay, so from our project, um, we are trying to use AI and machine learning for when you are studying a graph, you have some data points and things, and then you use machine learning tools to find out the interpolated graph, and then find out the trend, and then you use it to fit this graph to to the equations you have already made.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, from this, and also we have tried to use it in knowing our protein design and other stuffs.
Okay. So initially, when machine learning and AI was not, how was it done? How was like such analysis of graphs and like learning about the proteins done? Do you guys have any idea about that?
See, for the graphs, it can be done manually. Like you can go on doing that, but it will be really hard if there are lots of data points and the equation is really, you know, complex.
Okay.
Anyway, it can be done through general coding or general things.
I see. So my next question to you is, as you know, iGEM is obviously a synthetic biology event. So what aspects of mathematics is needed in this? To be precise, what concepts of mathematics are needed in this, and what sort of tools did you guys use for mathematically modeling your project?
So the requirements of tools mostly differ from project to project. For the requirement of your project, you may have to learn new tools, new concepts, or maybe the old concepts that you already knew. Those can be pretty useful. But for modeling something, you must have a strong foundation in differential equations and in rate kinetics, and also in like you need to have a strong understanding of graphs, how to analyze them, how to visualize a system, and you have to be analytical at every step.
Yes.
And tools, if you ask, they're the see for modeling a system, you should have a tool that helps you solve a set of differential equations, coupled differential equations, and visualize their outputs, analyze the graphs, and for that you can use any tool. Just it need to help you doing them.
Okay. So what tools did you guys specifically use? Anything in mind?
We mostly used Python modules for them, and also a bit of MATLAB modules, and also for network thing we used Charlie, Snoopy for making those Petri nets and things.
So you guys do need a strong mathematical foundation for getting into team as well, not just biology. So my next question is going to be, what is the biggest ethical question you guys see in synthetic biology?
What can be the
So, whenever we are looking at synthetic biology and you're looking at GMOs overall, there's a lot of stigmatization around GMOs. As in, all of our parents and all, even when we bought tiffin boxes and water bottles, you would check for GMO-free tiffin boxes, GMO-free water bottles, GMO-free food, and everything. But one of the core aspects, or one of the cornerstones of iGEM is understanding that GMOs aren't so bad over after all. You can have GMOs that have very useful functions, like there are enzymes that degrade PET, right? That can be used for bioremediation. There are other enzymes that chelate heavy metals from various water sources. You can detect heavy metals like arsenic, and you can even create things like biofuels and bioplastics that are actually going to be much more sustainable in the long run, and are actually going to pave the way for the future. So even though there is currently a lot of stigmatization around GMOs, especially amongst the common people, GMOs are getting increasingly accepted in at least the academic circles, and I'm pretty sure that once enough knowledge, flows down from the academic circles to the masses, GMOs would become common and widely accepted.
So that was ethical aspect which was not being accepted, but you think will start to be accepted.
Will soon, exactly. We are in the direction of having it, more and more accepted. As especially we would actually have people see GMOs make their way into their everyday life, and I think that's really when people will start to accept them as plausible solutions instead of the problem itself.
That's nice. That's nice to hear. So, in the previous question, you mentioned a lot of aspects of synthetic biology, which sounded to me was not directly related to human health. So, does that imply like synthetic biology is not completely related and like involved in human health, but like some other industries and aspects of like human living?
No, the broader aspect would be to call synthetic biology related to human welfare rather than purely human health. So, applications of synthetic biology stem from the managing the current climate crisis we have, bioremediation, and they go all the way to therapeutics, diagnostics, oncology, and from there they stretch to projects that are based on software, AI, and space. And there are also projects that are based purely on plant synthetic biology, and other projects that have applications in the agricultural and food sector, whereas some others have applications in the cosmetic sector. So
Okay.
it's an incredibly wide field of applications. Synthetic biology is more of the core concepts, the core ability to problem solve that can be applied very widely to multiple different problems across different domains.
If I'm not wrong, these are as well the villages in iGEM, right?
Yes, these are few of the villages in IISER, and there are about 19. I can't recollect all of them off the top of my head, but I'm sure the
And
viewers can go have a look.
this time, IISER Kolkata is under the village of oncology.
Oncology, yes, it is.
That's great. That's great to hear. If I'm not wrong, last year it was cosmetics, right?
It was a
We
cosmetics
won
based
a
project.
gold in that
Isolai.
village as well. Right, congratulations to them, and hopefully we'll see a gold this year as well. Uh, my next question would be, how and is there any methods in your mind currently? Like, we know synthetic biology can be used in harmful ways as well if not done properly. Do you guys have in mind any way that it can be assured that synthetic biology is completely safe for humans?
So, whenever you have a new organism interacting with an environment that's already, in some sense, stable, you will have various different interactions, some rather unexpected that you might see. But I feel like we have already, especially if you're talking about human related projects or even synthetic biology in any other field, we have already developed a system of checks and human trials or animal trials and so on. It varies. So the testing for cosmetics is of course different for the testing of a therapeutic or a diagnostic
Yeah,
project, but we have already established a lot of trials to ensure that when we implement this for the masses, there is going to be no harmful effects. And that being said, rest assured, given that there is a proper flow through all the trials, there is no potential of harm from synthetic biology. I only see the positives.
So you believe that if everybody who is conducting experiments and like involved in this field, if does their work properly, we won't be facing any troubles.
Also, there are you can actually predict the result from by using by mathematical
By
modeling
mathematical
those
models.
things. Most of the options you can anyway eliminate by predictions.
That's a very great involvement of mathematical modeling in synthetic biology. Now, moving on to some fun aspects I would like to add to the interview. What is the most sci-fi thing like you have heard and you believe after conducting your project that it is possible with synthetic biology? And if you go on to tell that to a layman, he'll just say it's fiction, it's in your mind, it's imagination.
That bacteria can be used to treat cancer. That was one of the big ones. And a second big one for me was that genes from a jellyfish can be used to make bacteria fluoresce. The fact that there exists glow in the dark plants that are created using synthetic biology, all this was very new to me when I was introduced to the field, and all of this seems right out of a movie until you actually get in the lab and do it yourself, and then you find it to be pretty real.
I don't know much about this, but see, from childhood I was very much excited about mutants. Like, those you see in X-Men series, yeah.
So you believe they
he's the
can
most
be made.
UV exposed member of our team.
So yeah, I believe.
That's nice. That's nice. So for the final question of this interview, what advice would you give to undergraduates or like budding undergraduates from any discipline, be it math, physics, biology, anything, who want to get involved in synthetic biology? Need not be iGEM, but like in the broad sense of synthetic biology, and develop the field further and their career as well.
Go ahead, you want to start?
In terms of, see, for our model anyway, we are making a, I mean, for our whole project, we are making a whole book kind of thing for the next candidates, such that they can read them and see. The most important thing in an experiment is to eliminate the wrong paths. You don't know about the right paths, which paths are right, but if you can eliminate wrong paths beforehand, then that is of a big help. So yeah, we are writing down everything, every experiences that we've and every struggles we faced in this model, so such that our next candidates can work accordingly.
From my side, I'll say think creatively, because it's only when you think something out of the box, something that seems just a tiny bit crazy or a tiny bit impossible, and try to do that, can you push the edge of what is known as impossible. And that's something that's a really fascinating aspect about synthetic biology, that the craziest things you can think about are very, very real. So yes, there has to be a lot of foundation and a lot of reading and information and this, that, and everything behind it. But two of my biggest recommendations: firstly, think creatively. If you can't think crazy, then you're not going to make something great. And secondly, try to see things, try to visualize cellular processes at a micro level. And if you can start to actually see that work, and if you start to visualize that better, you will have a much more concrete understanding of how your system will behave or should behave. Maybe not 100% right understanding of it, but it still gives you an approximation as to what could work.
Nice. So if any future budding aspirants for iGEM is seeing this video, you know whom to approach, whom to lunch upon. With that, I would like to end this interview. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving your precious time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That is what it was from our side. Thank you for watching our video. And if you are seeing this when it is being published, do give your support to them and wish them all the best. And we wish you all the best as well. And this is all from Campus Radio, interviewing iGEM IISER Kolkata Team 2025. Thank you again for watching. See you.
Cheers, guys. Campus Radio signing off.